Hey, what is up, everybody? So today I'm getting personal. My daughter contracted coronavirus. Luckily, she is better now, but now my husband has it. This is where the sad face emoji goes. I want to talk to you today about how I've managed so far to escape from getting it, what our home treatment plan has been, and how we set up our apartment to keep 6 feet apart. I'm Risa Morimoto, your host, and you're watching Modern Aging, where we chat about innovative and holistic ways to optimize our health and well-being as we age. If you click on that little red button below that says subscribe on it and that little bell next to it, you'll be sure to be notified whenever a new episode is uploaded. Be sure to check out our website at thisismodernaging.com to get the news of our latest and upcoming programs. Okay, so let's be real. This all feels like a ridiculous bad joke or something. Wouldn't it be great to just wake up from this nightmare of a movie that has become our lives? Well, no such luck. Not in my family. My family's been hit by this coronavirus, so we've been forced to face this pandemic head on. I want to share our experience with you so that perhaps you can find something useful in what we did if you find yourself in the same predicament. At the time, when it happened, it felt like an uncontrollable crisis, but it did become manageable once we put systems in place. First off, I just want to say there's a lot of anxiety about there whether or not people think they have symptoms. The anxiety and fear is real, but we also have to take a step back and not freak out because the anxiety may be actually making things appear worse than they actually are. So take a deep breath. And if you're incessantly watching the news, you have to stop because it's not helping. So here's what happened and what we did. So my teenage daughter, she came home from school not feeling well a couple of weeks ago. This is when the hysteria was beginning and we were starting to see that this pandemic was real and coming to our towns and coming very soon. I have to be honest, at the time I completely freaked out and I lost it. But then I got into my producer mode. You know, for all those producers out there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when that hits the fan, you have to solve problems. And so that's what I did. So she had the classic symptoms of fever and dry cough, but luckily nothing else. We gave her Tylenol for the fever, but really the cough, nothing except for maybe some cough drops from time to time. The real question was this COVID-19? I called around to try to get her tested, but it was impossible. Apparently, there are just not enough tests to go around, and the ones that they do have, they're using on severe cases only. So we were left to our own. We really, honestly, will never know for sure if she had coronavirus unless she can get an antibody test. But at the time, we were told to treat it as though she did, so that's what we did. Luckily, she's a teenager and not a toddler, so she could take care of herself for the most part. We quarantined her in her bedroom, and we designated one of the 2 bathrooms for her to use only. She stayed in her room for about 4 days, which is about how long her illness lasted for her. I did not go into her room. Anything that she needed, I put by her door. Her meals were brought to her in her room. I was the only person to touch the tray. I washed my hands like crazy. I wore a mask, and so did she if we had to interact at all. It was honestly very tough for her to stay in her room, of course. But then she got to set up her computer so she could watch Netflix, which normally we would not allow. But because we did, life became a little bit more bearable for her. Once she started feeling better, she was allowed to come out of her room as long as she was careful what she touched. She washed her hands a lot, and she disinfected whatever she touched. She wore a face mask outside of her bedroom, as did I, when we would interact. We washed all her bedding and clothes. The CDC now says for those who have had symptoms and not tested for COVID-19 and now feeling better, there are 3 markers you should look out for to determine if they are still contagious. Number 1, they've had no fever for 72 hours. That is without the use of any medicine. Number 2, their symptoms have improved, like if they had a cough or a sore throat. And number 3, 7 days have passed since their symptoms first appeared. If you check off all 3, then the person is probably no longer contagious. My husband's case, unfortunately, has been a little bit different. His virus started with a cough, and then a few days in, he developed a fever with aches and pain. He's been taking Tylenol, but after a few days, his fever is still up and down and hasn't yet broken. He doesn't have much of an appetite, so I'm trying to get him to continue to drink liquids, which is super important to flush out the fever. Also, a neighbor, she just bought us some organic elderberry juice, so I started to give that to him. And I started to drink it too. Elderberries are known to have anti-inflammatory and antiviral properties, so it's really good for colds, flus, and allergies. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Luckily, neither my daughter nor husband have had a sore throat, but it is something that I suffer from time to time. So I just wanted to suggest gargling with warm water, warm salt water actually, and then also taking zinc. Zinc you don't want to take on an empty stomach because it can upset it, but tea, fresh slices of ginger, lemon, honey, awesome, and it helps to soothe your throat. My husband is quarantined in his office and he has a little small bed in there. He's been there for almost a week now. I don't go into his room unless it's to bring him something, and if I do go in, I put on my mask, he puts on his, and I don't hang out there for more than 5 minutes. I've marked flatware and plates, bowls that are strictly for him. We don't share towels, bedding, or anything. The big challenge has been our dog Mimi. She loves my husband and wants to be near him all the time. So I put up a baby gate so she doesn't go into his room, but of course it's hard to do 100% of the time because I'll forget, or I'm in there talking to him and she'll sneak up behind me and jump on his bed. They say that the virus can live on your pet's fur, and whether or not that's 100% or not, I'm not sure, but it does make sense since this virus tends to like to live on surfaces. The other alternative, of course, is that the healthy people don't touch the pets, but that's crazy too. I mean, I put light blankets on our sleeping spots now, just in case, so that way I can wash the blanket and not the entire couch. I've also been giving Mimi baths. Not happy about that at all. So I know that I need to get better at keeping that baby gate up. For now, we're taking it day by day. We definitely do not want to go into the hospital. It is a breeding ground for the virus. We are super lucky because the virus is not bad enough where we need hospital intervention. We are doing our best to create a system within our household to keep the healthy people healthy and bring the sick people back to health. And I think this is going to be very common. I can't stress enough how important it is to be eating healthy right now, whether you are sick or not. Whole, real foods, lots of fruits and vegetables. Stay away from processed foods if you can. If you don't cook, there are meal kits you can order, as well as tons of simple recipes online to try. Just try. We've partnered with Splendid Spoon, which is a meal kit delivery company. They have some amazing plant-based smoothies, bowls, and soups. It's perfect because it's nutritious and it's also easy to eat. Right now, we're offering a discount to new customers, so you can find out all about it by clicking on the link below in the description section. Real food is going to help strengthen your immune system, and we all need strong immune systems right now. The virus is real and it is serious. Taking the it won't happen to me attitude is naive. You don't need to panic, but you do need to be prepared. Please keep washing your hands and be conscious of when you touch your face. Keep at least 6 feet away from those who are sick. You may be asymptomatic, so don't go near anyone if you have to go outside. You don't even know the person that you may walk by may be asymptomatic, and you don't want to catch it from them. Yeah, it sucks, and it's not ideal, but it is manageable, and like all things, this too shall pass. You've been through a lot in life already. You will get through this too. If you found the video helpful, please give it a like. If you have other questions, or even better, if you have other ideas on how to keep everyone safe at home, put them in the comment section below. If you think that this video would be helpful to someone you know, please share it with them. We are in this together, and together we shall rise and overcome it. So stay safe, stay sane, and we'll see you next time on Modern Aging.